Good morning, everyone. As another
Yay!
beautiful.
Go ahead, sorry. I wasn't ready for it.
No, go ahead.
I'm already boomering it up. Fuck!
Go ahead, finish.
Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, wait, we're not there.
Ron Chopin.
Yes, I know.
As another beautiful Sunday morning, as another interesting show with both myself and Pin. Welcome to another episode of Re-Caffeinated. So, how's everyone doing this morning?
Oh, wait, wrong one. Wrong one.
God. Ron Chopin. That's dead and gone.
Well, I think it's time to reanimate it if we're doing all the reing of the other things.
Oh, that's what this is. That's what this is. It's recaffeinating it into a different brand and form with just you and me.
Coffee, that's all I can say. I need my coffee.
Yeah, I'm drinking my soda and a Monster for later.
Monster!
Monster!
I can't do Monster, sorry.
Yep, and I need to put my glasses back on. Oh, we got a new person in chat. Welcome, Golden Banana-nator. Have a wrench.
Golden Banana-nator.
Yeah, he's actually, he's more or less, they're more around lo-fi in Tyro, around their neck of the roads and their parts. I've talked to GB a couple different times, but unless I mainly, I know he does. I keep
words.
Yeah, I know. They keep. They do the artwork for Lo-Fi and Tyro and a couple different other people, and they're actually really good. And man, my microphone is redlining.
So, a fellow artist, possible graphic designer. So, welcome, sir. Welcome, Mr. GB Banana-nator. And also, I see a Ben C. Hello, Ben. It's been a while. How are you doing? And a William, sir. I tip my hat to you. And, of course, Manquatch.
Manscratch.
Yes, I took the S out, so it's now Manquatch.
Manquatch. Okay, that's a lot better. It's not redlining as bad.
What are words? How do I use them? I don't know how words work. That's where I ask Maddie for advice.
It's just trying to be, to be honest, I don't know what gender GB is. So it's like they, them. And I want to use he. And it's like, I don't think GB is a he.
People just need to stop being offended if you refer to somebody as he. And if they happen to correct you with the, I'm actually a girl, that's fine!
That's not, it's not.
Like men, is supposed to be the universal of they, appropriate. Like,
shut up, man.
I'm just saying. Mankind. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying. I just don't want to, come off like an asshole like I usually do.
What is it? There was... I like watching Achievement Hunter. It's probably the only division of Rooster Teeth I can actually tolerate going forward. However, the Achievement Hunter crew, which consists of Gavin, Jeff, I think still Michael, and maybe Brian, and maybe Jack. I know that Ray for a long time hasn't been with them anymore, and they've added in new people. Anyways, there was an episode, I think before episode 100, where they're bantering back and forth, and Brian is like, use your words, Gavin. And Gavin's like, what do you think words are? They're just noises you make with your mouth. And nobody could refute that. Because that's basically what it is. Noises you make with your mouth.
Oh God. Okay. So two things I want to point out. GB says, he is alright with me, bigot. So, okay then. I think I'll use Dave. And Ben C he is doing fine, and right now playing on Antoine's Minecraft realm for a couple of hours. So, for how are you doing, Panina Chan? Go blow up a couple things in Antoine's Discord and Minecraft server.
You know what? I've been invited to participate on Antoine's Minecraft server, but the same issue that I fall into is when I have the time. And at the moment, I don't have much time. But if it's something where Antoine gave me, okay, we're going to do something as a group from this time to this, like if I have a definite set of time, I can make a schedule and shift things around.
Like with 7 days a day.
Yeah, exactly. You tell me, when are we going to do stuff, Rogue? Okay, we're going to do it Monday. Like, okay, what time? Okay, from this time to this. Great. I can figure out how to move everything else around that. But how am I doing so far? I'm doing good. Better than I have been in the last few weeks. I'm catching up on my homework at a nice and even pace. I will be doing more game stuff and coding a little later after Re-Caffeinated Die, and I promise it'll be almost immediately after Caffeinated or Die, not, 7 hours later and I'm just doing something.
Hey, Pin.
Huh?
Pin, you're doing it again.
Doing what? Ranting? Rambling?
No, or die. Is this Re-Caffeinated?
Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it, Re-Caffeinated.
No. It's not me that's gonna have an issue with that. I don't care. It's not me though.
I understand. You know what? If anybody has a problem with, they could take it up with me. It's not your fault. That's the blathering technical difficulties that is my mouth. But anyways, to wrap up, Ben C, I am doing great. Thank you. And Manquatch, Pen-chan, or with your hands if you're deaf. This is true.
Yeah. Mascot just yells in all caps, dead naming!
Dead naming. Oh, yeah, that's right, okay. So what? I don't care. People get so butthurt over the littlest things. Speaking of butthurt, before we move into the other things that we were talking about before the show, apparently there was some people who got upset that there was a guy, supposedly a Trump supporter, who ended up popping one of the Trump baby balloons. And I think this was in the last few days.
Those Trump baby balloons.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Have you seen them?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't follow along with the political crap, Pin.
Baby Trump balloon.
Oh god.
I'm just going to show you because people have made GoFundMes to make this thing. Open. I'm going to do tab just so that I can get the image. I just want the image, damn it. Open image and new tab. There we go. So take a look at that. There. Take a look at that. And this is not too long after he was elected.
Oh, that thing. That hideous, grotesque. I can see why they popped it. It's an eyesore.
Now, so there are people who are angry that this Trump supporter did basically a run-by stabbing of the balloon to basically pop it. And then they sit there and cry, well, where are all the Trump supporters who believe in, non-destruction of personal property? It's like, okay, wait a minute. You're not gonna throw this back in our face. What happened was wrong in the legal sense. But nobody is going to shed a tear because you assholes cry and complain about every little thing that now something of yours get destroyed after you guys advocate for the destruction of conservative businesses and property and harming of other persons that we just don't care. We don't care. We find it very that's what it is. We find it very disingenuous that we advocate for individual liberties, the protection of person and property. You don't. But then when it happens to you, then you want to throw it back in our face? That's not how this works. We got Ben C. I love watching their Minecraft Let's Plays. And what the fuck is TTT? Triple T. TTT Let's Play. I'm sure Ben will catch up in a second.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, there we go, Jacob. I have awoken and LSU destroyed Alabama. Okay, I don't follow, what is that, football? I'm guessing that's football.
That's football. I believe it's college football.
Gay guys don't get butt hurt over little things.
Depends on who the gay guy is.
This is true.
Because,
if you're Carlos Maza, then you get butt hurt over the littlest of things.
No. Oh, no. Time out. I got it. I got it. Think about it.
Thinking about it.
Gay guys don't get butt hurt over little things.
Yeah. I kind of got it. I didn't put too much thought into it.
I got it.
Man clutch. It's like the popping of a giant Jim Crow balloon. Yeah, that too. Nobody cares. Yeah, we could argue it was wrong on a legal sense for the destruction of personal property, but nobody's going to cry about it. At least nobody who matters is going to cry about it. People are more upset of the Cleveland Indians mascot than they are of this. That one was a sniper shot. If that was true, then bravo.
Wow.
Anyways, I do have to get with Antoine.
It should have been a bow and arrow. But no, it's actually real stupid that some people get, so fucking butthurt over stupid things like that. I mean, it's not like anyone on their side goes up to Trump supporters and yanks their hat off and rips the shirts off that say Trump. Or
spray mace in their face,
or beats the ever loving daylights out. It's not like any of them do that, right?
No, they don't do that whatsoever. That's why nobody's gonna shed a tear. Nobody's gonna shed a tear. You guys, as in the anti-Trump supporters, support groups like Antifa that go around and beat the living shit out of people. If your little balloon gets popped, that's like the least amount of damage that our side has really ever done. And I hate putting it in terms like that. Our side, Trump supporter sides, has ever really done, as opposed to, skulls getting bashed in, blood all over the place. It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb.
Mascot brings up something that we were gonna talk about.
Let's scroll down. Oh! I've been meaning to play that game. Terror in Terrorist Town is TTT. It's a game in Garrett. Yep, I know about that game.
Yep.
It's basically figuring out who the terrorist is in the group. Yeah. What I want to play is Prop Hunt. Well, it's basically how to go seek with props.
We know who the terrorist is in our group.
Do we?
We do.
Who? Because I promise you're wrong.
The one who keeps spawning in zombies in the base.
Oh, no. He's not a terrorist. He's not a terrorist whatsoever. I mean, maybe borderline, but he definitely is not, automatically, I should say. He's not automatically the terrorist.
Yeah. But no,
you'd be surprised at who the real terrorist is.
You?
I'm not saying anything.
You're not saying nothing. It's not me. I know who it is, but it's not me. And as she gets a knife out and gets ready to go up behind somebody, maybe me, and but no, Mascot brings up or locks down an entire Google account for too many emojis. I wonder what he's talking about on that one.
Or blows up an ice building, or shoots up a company baseball game. Or smuggles thousands of children for the elites only to get busted and have their death faked by the runner-up. Yep.
Yep. I have to agree with Rogue on that one. There's not too much evidence supporting that. I mean, there's a lot of things that's wrong with it, but just not a lot of hardcore evidence says, yes, this is it.
I mean, this is probably the worst. Okay, besides the balloon popping, because this wouldn't be the first balloon popping. It wouldn't even be the third
It won't be the last
balloon popping. It still won't be the last, but maybe they could sit there and say, oh shit, I can't remember which one it was. The PewDiePie shooter, and I'm not saying the PewDiePie shooter. I'm sorry.
The New Zealand shooter.
Right, the New Zealand shooter, and maybe the shooter after him, like the major mass shooter. They'll sit there and point to those as examples of, these are Trump supporter shooters. It's like, no, that's what you want to believe. If you actually read and comprehend, because that's important. They can read, but they don't comprehend. If you read and comprehend the manifestos that they leave, they're not Trump supporters. They're not. They're anti-culture. They're anti-establishment, sure, but they're not Trump supporters.
Yeah. And for anything, I think the New Zealand shooter was like against everything he was doing and supported Bunny. Actually, I think
Here's the thing: the New Zealand shooter was
because I have the manifesto on my computer.
Oh, I do too. I mean, I did have it on my computer. What? That's a Freudian slip there. Anyways, what the New Zealand shooter was, he was trying to be that's what it is. He was taking trolling to the extreme. He knew he was going to kill people, so his entire manifesto is one huge troll. And the sad part about it is that people have been told time and time again, don't give them the notoriety that they're seeking, because that's what they're doing it for, is the attention. Don't publish their name. Don't talk about them. Don't give them any credence. I mean, talk about the event. Talk about the victims. Support the people who they've tried to inflict pain and misery on. Give them the opposite of what they want, even if they are no longer here. Don't give their memory any credibility. Because, one, that's what they're seeking. And two, you prevent copycats. Or you at least try to help prevent copycats. Which, what do you think happened in the last year and a half in regards to the this is actually in my area, the Stoneman Mary Douglas, Stoneman High School shooting?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't the first school shooting to kick things off for the year, but it continued to perpetuate because people kept talking about it. They kept on naming the shooter. They kept on, they, not only that, but you also had people like David Hogg just continuing to roll with it, continuing to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Where it's funny, you have his counterpart, Kyle Kassev, both of them the same classmates of the same event, but you have two, it literally is a tale of two children, a tale of two high schoolers.
Yeah.
Where one is...
GB has a good point, though.
You're talking about him right now. But I'm not naming him. I am denouncing the people who have named him. And we know it's the major news outlets who have named him. and then attempt to put the blame for him on Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're trying to do. That's not how it works.
Who? Oh, okay. I gotcha. It's gonna happen. It always happens. It just depends on
how prepared you are to and how you react.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's like with me. I live in the good state of Oklahoma. Conceal, open carry. I always go prepared. You can never be too safe. And I feel sorry for anyone that's in, quote unquote gun free zones, because that, to me, that's just a killing zone.
Mm-hmm. Notice how the school shootings have only ever happened at gun free zones.
How all major shootings usually happen.
See, the teachers down here, they definitely approved, the state legislator had approved that certified teachers are teachers who are certified can carry in school.
Mm-hmm.
And the certain demographics down here are like, no, you can't do that. That's just going to only encourage more shootings. It's like,
no,
we actually haven't had a major shooting down here in South Florida since that happened.
It's called the big stick rule. If you got a big stick, nobody's gonna fuck with you.
And that's the point. Predators, and this happens in the wild, and this happens with human nature. Predators will go for the easy target. Perfect example, look at Antifa. They don't try to pick out from the group because they know that they're most likely going to get their ass kicked. They wait for the stragglers. They go for the elderly. They go for those who are disabled. They go for women. They go for guys who are not paying attention. They try to pick off the easy prey.
Yeah. I think I'm going to switch gears up a little bit because it's a good topic. I really just don't want to talk about shootings and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
And
sorry.
It's not that I'm offended or I just don't want to talk about it. It's just...
That's not what the show's for.
It's not only that. It's not that. It's just... It's highly fucking stupid. And it's a lack of common sense in my book. Like I said, I live in Northeast Oklahoma. I travel to Missouri every single day for work. I go up to Kansas every now and then. I'll go down to Arkansas every now and then. Basically, the 4 states area is where I'm at. There has not been any kind of quote-unquote mass shootings around here. And they're all like breaking and enterings down here, or quote-unquote shootings. About 6 or 7 times out of 10, usually the shooter gets shot back at. And
yeah,
it doesn't go well for him. So
good. It shouldn't.
That's my logic behind it. I'm all for open carry and concealed carry, and all the rules, follow the rules, stuff like that. But
now, there are some things that I could sit there and say, yes, should we have better gun training? Sure. Doesn't hurt to have better training. Make sure that you are competent to wield.
All right, so do you want to know when I got my formal gun training at?
Where?
Well, no, when?
When?
I was 6. At about the age of 6 and 7, I knew how to tear down a Glock. I knew how to tear down a shotgun. I knew how to tear down a hunting rifle. I knew how to tear down M16. Clean them, put them back together, load them, use them, etc. That was in Boy Scouts.
There you go. You remove the stigma of something being scary.
Yeah, you remove it from being scary, and you teach people, even kids, that, it's... The more knowledge you have, the better off you are. So if you don't, because this is the philosophy that I was always taught by. If you teach a kid to not touch something because it's bad or something like that,
Like
automatically,
red hot stovetop?
that too, automatically, they want to go mess with it. They want to touch it. They'll be fixated by that then. Even though
It's this weird little thing of reverse psychology. It's natural for anything. You say, don't do this. Why? Because I told you to. Well, now I want to know what's so scary about it.
Exactly. You teach them, it's a daily weapon. You teach them that it can hurt them. You don't just say, don't touch this. You just keep it away. You don't keep them in the dark about it. You let them know this can hurt someone. Train them at a young age. And usually, 9 times out of 10, you don't have no issues. This entire area that I'm in, I know people in the fire department that I'm on or was on. I know people at work that go through and they teach their kids how to hunt. They teach them how gun safety and stuff like that. They don't have any issues at all.
You want to know how my dad taught me about? First about the red hot stove burner, and then about guns. Okay, you want to know how my dad taught me? I was maybe 3. 3 or 4, the age of when you just start to really start understanding things and you're learning how to talk. My father walked me over to the stove and he turned it on and the burner started to get the glowing red hot. These were like the coils, right?
Yeah, the old-fashioned stoves.
Right. So once it started to get really nice red and hot, he took my hand and he's like, no, I'm not going to force you to touch it, but just hover your like hovering my hand literally an inch or 2 from it. He's like, you feel how hot that is? Yeah. Do you want it to hurt you? No. Then don't touch the stove when it's glowing red hot like that. Okay.
It works.
Yeah, it works. You don't have to be afraid of it. Just understand it. What is it? With the guns. All right, my brother was 4, I was 8. My father had gotten himself his own pistols. He had like 2 or 3. Oh, hello.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Damn, how'd you get a recording of Pen when she was a kid?
Well, have you ever had it? Well, have
you? Hold that thought, Rogue. With my brother was 4, I was 8. My father took his pistols and, he took the magazine out, unloaded it, cleared the chamber, put the magazine back in. And then he, put it in our hand. Okay, hold it up, try to pull the trigger. But before you pull the trigger, you want to make sure the safety's off. You want to make sure you know how to take the magazine out, make sure you clear he went through all the steps. And yes, I was a little afraid when I was holding it, but that quickly turned to interest because of shiny mechanical thing. How does it work?
Those are lies, Pen. You're telling lies. Girls don't like mechanical shiny things.
So
they like plasticky dolls with hairs. They don't like.
With my brother shiny. Though, when my dad, and he said, you make sure that there's no bullets. Okay.
Oh boy.
So he cleared, did the slide with the chamber, took the magazine out. He did it in reverse order. He cleared the chamber, took the magazine out, put it back in, and then my dad's like, okay, go ahead and pull the trigger. My brother tried pulling the trigger. A 4-year-old kid doesn't have the strength. So what's the next logical thing? Turns the pistol around to use his thumb. But now the barrel is pointed towards him. So it goes click, and my dad goes, now you're dead. Huh? Well, because you did it wrong. You didn't take the magazine out and then clear the chamber. Oh. And then my brother lost interest.
Wow. And no, Rogue, you're on. Depends on what kind of mechanical shiny things it is. And depends if it, if it
Vibrates or not?
there you go.
That's later in life. No. In the beginning as teachers, at least up to the first 7 years, they have no interest in a lot of mechanical shiny things.
Most
I mean,
women.
the closest,
We're
the
talking
closest
about
I,
10 here.
the closest I can guess would be like would be a bike. But then again, they
with the little frills outside the handlebars.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about bicycles, then I was 7. My parents had bought me a brand new bike for Christmas, but they hadn't put it together yet. So
See, this is where we're going.
During a dinner party, I'm the child. I'm not supposed to be with the parents. So what do? I take the bike, I go find my dad's tools, and I put the bike together myself.
How far did you get before it fall apart?
Actually, I put the whole damn thing together, other than having to tighten a few of the bolts.
Well, that's what I meant. How far did you get before it started falling apart?
I didn't. I mean, yes, there was an instruction manual with it, but I followed the manual. I put everything together, and during the dinner party, I wheeled it out, and both my parents look at me like, "When did that get put together?" Just now. What? Yeah, I did it in my room while you guys were having dinner. And of course, the dinner guests, so friends and family are like, "Ooh, okay."
I have a story like that. Although I wasn't putting something together, I was taking something apart.
Oh?
Yeah. I was 5 years old and I was 5 years old and I got curious on, this little thing on the back of the Snap lawnmower that makes noise when it's going down the mowing the lawn. I got curious and wanted to know how it worked, so I took it apart. Yep. But I also put it back together too.
No, that's good. That's good. Always want to put things back together after you take it apart.
My mom was pissed.
Have you ever taken anything apart and put it back together, bro? Besides your computer? Because that doesn't count.
I will not answer those questions on the basis that it might incriminate me.
Oh God, we got new lore from Mascot. Baby Sparky took apart the washing machine, the television, the coffee maker, and his dad's motorcycle and accidentally built a transdimensional replication device. His parents didn't really get mad until the CIA and NASA confiscated it.
Oh shit! Is that what happened?
I guess. I mean, I'm so used to lore being made up about me, so why not?
Hey, at least in this case, at least it's better lore than what's been made up about me.
Well, you're not a person anyway. It's okay. It's fine.
Well,
I'm not a person.
Rogue has sound clips for that lore.
Oh shit! This is true. No. God damn it!
Well, the only bit I can ever give you, Pen, is this one.
That's I can't go 5 minutes without that happening.
See, that pretty much ends everything.
You can't play Five Nights or Rock Around Dark Corners in 7 Days to Die.
Not just that, or avoid being attacked by a bear.
No, to be fair, that was more of a blonde moment. It was like, oh, it says bears. Survive the bears on the outside. That couldn't possibly mean anything.
No. The club or the establishment says the Bear Den.
Yeah, the Bears Den. That was it.
Yes.
And then the sign says survive the bears.
Yeah, why would I ever friggin' think?
Why would you put the two together? The Bears Den and then survive the bears. And then you're like,
it could have been
one bear. Oh, there can't be another bear. Oh shit, bear.
Well, I was telling Penn earlier, you could take that into a sexual reference.
It is supposed to be a sexual reference.
Which is what I basically thought it meant.
No, it's like literally. I guess there's some people into bestiality. Who knows?
There's a lot of unusual people that are interested in that bestiality. Yeah. I'm looking at Winsler for one.
Oh God!
Mascot, baby Sparky took apart the washing machine, the television, the coffee maker.
I just said this earlier.
She does this as well. Don't worry. You'll get used to that as being, a psychic with her. You end up saying something, and like hours later, she'll then repeat the exactly. Oh, well, by the way, so and so said. Yeah, we've already talked about this.
All right. His parents didn't get really mad. All right, fine.
I love you, Penn. I love you.
Keep yucking it up.
That's what we normally do, Penn. This is what we do normally.
We have fun at your expense.
Yeah, fun at my expense. When do I get to have fun at somebody else's expense?
I think Jacob has more fun at your expense than we do. Hello, Jacob. I can see you.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Put down the controller.
No.
Walk away from the computer. Actually,
no.
Walk away from the TV.
No.
Put down Borderlands. It's not as good as you think it is.
That being your personal opinion, Rogue?
No, actually, it's pretty much a standard opinion. Yes, there's a few people that like it because of the factor that's a looter shooter.
It's a looter shooter?
Yeah, looter. Yeah, it's a looter shooter. But realistically, it's one of the poorly drafted looter shooters that they've come up with so far.
Looter shooter.
I've never heard. I've never heard of that term before. But now that you say it, it makes perfect sense.
You've never heard of the term looter shooter?
No, I have not.
That's the basis of Borderland. Well, actually, any.
I understand it's the basis of Borderlands. I've never heard it referred to that way before.
That sounds more like 7 Days to Die.
But I have heard. See, the only other term that I've ever heard. Oh, excuse me, 2 terms that I've heard before is tank and spank and hack and slash.
Okay, if you want to tank and spank, by all means, go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
When did Reboot become a part of this?
Ruby?
Reboot?
Oh, wrong hack and slash. Wrong hack and slash.
Hey, they're 2 of my favorite characters in that show.
Mine too.
You cheeky dick waffle.
God damn it.
I have my moments.
Man Squat's paint. It's also called gun porn.
Yeah, that'd be it too.
Good news, everyone.
But yeah, no. Each person or each individual likes a certain type of genre, and unfortunately, if there's a good population of within that genre, they kind of rename the categories. It's more or less a simple RTS style game with looting mechanics.
Right.
So, a looter shooter.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like I said, it makes sense when you say it. I've just never heard.
I just had to, kind of throw that into it. Just throw the extra, terminology
I liked
towards you.
Yeah, well, it's almost like it reminds me of Fallout New Vegas. There's one there's a missionary that you can go to that was controlled by the NCR, and later that missionary you had to like steal a gun off of him. And it's like the only gun in the game is like a 75 110 pistol.
Yeah,
fucking badass gun. I always want to go get that.
Like, William finally explained to me why it's called patching. I never knew this little bit of information before.
Okay.
When referring to patching programs. Goes back to the days of the old punch cards.
Yeah.
You'd have to put tape over the holes that you wanted to have the program rewrite over.
Correct.
Because I was commenting, this was earlier in the week when I was doing more of my, more of the Game Maker, and William and I were talking back and forth while I was doing it, and he also mentioned about the, you were there too for this, but this was, we were talking after it, the trash collection, or the garbage collection. It's like, I mean, I get it, now that it's said out loud, but it's not something I ever thought of before. And then it makes sense, like, okay, yeah, how does the system constantly clear itself out so that it's not bogged with all this information that it doesn't need anymore? And then I just kind of commented on, it's very interesting where some of these things get their names from. And then that's when he mentioned about the patching. It's like, huh. I always thought if something ever was wrong that they'd have to make a whole new, punch card.
Some cases people did, others they just found a workaround. Not everybody.
Of punch cards and electronic computers would be literal. Oh yes, he did mention about the bugs in the system. Oh yeah, stuck in them. Literal moths would get caught in the back. Oh yeah, I know. Ugh, bugs. He did. Yeah. I remember he talked about that one too. Oh.
But anywho, Pen, the realistic, avenue is that when you're looking at the old style computer, you're looking at a room size machine with reel to reel, a lot of diodes and that.
Yep, and light bulbs. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So reminds me, let me take a look at something.
He's going to pull out his old computer, his Nan's computer that he's been hanging on to for all this time.
The literal definition of binary. The light bulb's either on or it's off. Sequences of on and off light bulbs making sequences of stringed information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Imagine the kind of computer that Mothra would get caught. Oh no! Damn it!
It would have to be a very big computer.
Actually, no, I can't show you because they're still at the old house. I was gonna say I have like a big ass fucking bag of vacuum tubes.
Oh, there you go. It's fine. I wasn't looking anyways.
Mm-hmm. Transistors would be used on and off structure to this day. Yep. Twisted transistor.
No, there's no twisted transistors that are being used today.
Well, there's definitely twisted resistors.
Yes, there's a lot of resistors on that one. I will agree with that. A lot of resistors.
William, similar way that Dead Mouse got his name. Did it involve a dead mouse?
Dead moth. Dead moth. Bugs, man, bugs! But yeah, dead mouse is actually pretty cool.
I don't like bugs.
But you have to get used to them, Pen.
No, I don't. I don't like bugs.
You'll have to get used to them.
Yeah.
No.
We need to spawn some into the base.
Who is to say that the bugs don't like you? And they just, have to get used to the fact that you're in their space.
Yeah. We have to spawn some in 7 days to die.
I mean, most people find a lot of dead things in the computers. Now, if you find a dead human in your computer, now that's interesting.
I probably... No, you might find a dead person in a server room. And those things are cold enough where they could be a freezer.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh, I think you do know, Rogue.
No, I do not. How would I? How would you be sure that I know these things?
Because it's you.
That's true.
That's all I have to say. It's because it's you.
That is true.
Damn, that's a corroded battery, Mascot.
Wait, there's a corroded battery? What? Where? Huh?
Alright, so Mascot says, speaking of dead mouse, my wife pulled out a laptop we had in our closet. The battery and the mouse had corroded and couldn't get out of the wireless mouse. So after breaking a plastic knife trying to extract the battery, we tossed it.
Oof. Yeah,
Probably using a cheap-ass battery, too.
That doesn't necessarily mean it have to be a cheap ass battery. It could have been a Duracell. They do eventually, break.
They do eventually break, but I haven't had any issues with like Duracell and Energizer. It's usually been some of the off-brand ones that if you leave them in for a long period of time, they just bust and leak everywhere.
There's a possibility in those, but anything is possible. I mean, all you have to do is breach one of the actual liners, and you end up with a lot of leakage.
Yep.
All it takes is that one moment.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is I get the dielectric grease, and I'll put on ends of the batteries and then pop them in, so if they do leak, it doesn't corrode as bad on the metal connections.
Apparently,
Star Trek Adult Swim crossover.
Why? I just have to ask the question.
A fair question
why?
would be, why not?
No, because
yeah.
it would make one, it would destroy the continuity. Two, it
How? It's just an Adult Swim Trek crossover.
It would destroy the continuity.
Didn't they overdo that?
I don't understand how it would.
I felt like they already done that.
We can always find out.
I know they did it for Futurama.
Well, I know that the only persons that I know has done a proper version of it on an Adult Swim program would be Robot Chicken.
Star Trek doesn't have any continuity ever since J.J. Abrams lens flared it to death.
Well, if you're talking about J.J. Abrams' continuity, it is a completely different universe.
Oh, Brick and Gordy. Data has been struck by lightning, so his best friend has to... Oh, no. No, what if Data was like Mr. Meeseeks?
Huh?
Huh? I mean, what did you not understand about that sentence?
Okay, you take a machine. To be a Meeseeks, which is an organism that wants to die.
Well, okay, but Data is like trying to become human. So, yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand why this couldn't be a thing.
I could see it happening to like somebody like Mr. Spock. Or better yet, the red shirts, but as for Data?
Yeah.
He's a machine. He's a mechanical. He can't die.
But you can reprogram him, you can reboot him.
Again, can't die.
You have to take everything so goddamn literal, Rogue.
If you said the red shirts were like Mr. Meeseeks, I would have said, sure, no problem, because they die in almost every episode.
Data in a red shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there, that fixes your problem.
Yeah. So be on the lookout, guys. You might end up watching me tumble over backwards on this stream. Who knows?
Why? Are you drunk?
No, fucking chair just broke again. So
sorry.
So
I know nothing because I'm not actually watching it. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the sound of him falling over.
Of the thump.
Yeah,
probably that.
Well, I got a brand new chair. I got a brand new chair right there. I just haven't put it together yet. It's like I'm gonna wait until this one cannot
I
be
need to get
used
a
no
new
more.
chair. I need to get a new chair.
Wait. You have a brand new chair, and you're going to wait until the other one doesn't work. You have to have your nerd card revoked. I'm sorry. You have a brand new thing. You're supposed to automatically use the brand new thing.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's the reason why the brand new thing is a brand new thing.
Yeah, but if I wait until this one finally breaks, then use it, that one will last a lot longer.
No.
Yeah.
Has the same amount of lifespan.
I don't know. I go for chairs like water.
That sounds more like a you thing than the chair thing.
This is my 4th chair in 3 years.
That really still sounds like a you thing and not the chair. The chairs usually will last an average lifestyle for up to 10 years. Up to. You go through them quicker than that.
Well, the reason why
there's something that you're doing to those chairs, or in your neck of the woods, you're getting cheap ass chairs.
It's not a cheap ass chair. This is actually a gaming chair. I just like to lean back in them, and they can't.
Yeah, most chairs are designed for that.
Yeah, these can't handle it.
That's why you get a gaming chair that can recline. Silly.
Well, the new one I have is an actual soda chair, so I kind of spent a little bit more money on it.
Okay, I gotta close my blinds because there's too much sun coming in. Sun.
No, there's just you're just upset because you don't have any peepers. Mascot, go over there, peep.
Oh, peepers. Oh, peepers. Jeepers,
Peter.
peepers.
Feed a reaper or peeper?
No.
Huh? She wants a peeper.
No, I don't.
I feel like a zombie.
She wants a peeper.
I do not.
Oh, so she's into that voyeurism stuff, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's one of
I am not.
She's a person that demands voyeurism.
You will stop that. You will stop that right now.
See here. So, Jordy is looking through time and space for the factory reboot discs. Thus, Brick and Jordy. No, sorry, no. Let's see here. You're just Min and Max the chair.
Mid-max. Mid-max the chair.
Min-max.
Alright. It continues. I love this person that continues. You need to buy a class of chairs for the bogies of the world.
Boogies.
No. I like my phrasing better. Bogies.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not that heavy.
Nobody said you were.
I'm just 210 pounds. That's it.
That's still not heavy.
Well, all I can say is that's a really big pile of shit.
Fuck you too, Rogue. Fuck you too.
It's okay. I mean, I might have that sound clip somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like
the numbers he uses.
Yeah. But no.
6281481 whatever.
Whatever he says.
Whatever's. All the evers.
I don't know, but he's fucking 4, 5, 6 digits he uses at the end of his name. I don't know why you make a name like that.
Oh, 2988. There you go.
2988.
Boogie.
Yeah.
2988.
Yeah, Pen would know this because of the factor that she's a fan and a long-time admirer.
Don't assume Jack Diddley.
I will assume Jack and Diddley and have Jack and Diddley get together.
Yeah, because the two things you're laying here is Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
So, that's usually what happens for Jack. He tends to leave town because he doesn't like to deal with shit.
Whoa, call 9 Joe.
Yeah, well,
Mortal Kombat. I don't know why. Random. Randomness.
Well, it would be only good if you had a soundboard.
I do. I just am lazy and I don't want to pull mine up.
You don't want to pause your up, but you expect everybody else to do that for you.
Yes.
Carmen San Diego.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, it is. Old Rockapelica.
Yep.
Really? There's a form of art, a music that hasn't been used for a while. Do you think that'll ever come back? A cappella?
Who knows?
It's too niche, I think. You still have people doing barbershop quartet competitions.
Well, you got people like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys trying to do that.
But they're not a cappella, though. They have to have that accompaniment, or else they sound like shit.
Well, it's their own quote-unquote method, but yeah, it's not the same.
I'm gonna kind of reject that thought there, Pen. They could do it without the actual music behind it. They can't do it with their music. Their music is specially crafted for what they've already have for the
The
catalog.
brand that is known as Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, they cannot do it. But okay, fine.
I actually like Westlife.
Ooh, what? Huh?
What,
So,
you never heard of Westlife?
No.
Yeah.
No. I have not.
No. Alright, so tell me, have you seen Pokemon the movie 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, you seen the credits, or listened to the ending credits?
No.
Okay. They do one of the songs for that one's called Flying Without Wings. It's actually a really good song.
Uh-huh. Keep in mind that the brand that is considered NSYNC was crafted with actual people who can sing. Mostly those who used to be a Mouseketeer.
Mouseketeer, uh-huh.
Yeah.
You just have to sing part of a group to be a Mouseketeer.
To a point, but they require you to do a few things. See, a Mouseketeer, even they still followed that old 50s kind of motif, because you had to have certain qualities. One, you had to be somewhat of a good-looking individual. Two, you had to be able to have some degree of talent, whether it be actual proper singing or dancing or some kind of musical, talent.
Yeah, something it could mark it off of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Statler.
Something
You
that
have
they
no
can
freedom
exploit.
working
Well,
for
again,
Disney.
something that they... Well, no, hang on. Something that they can exploit. Now, as for the last aspect of it, which is the purity contract, that is something that's been passed down since, since the Mouseketeers have been created. That's why it no longer exists for the most part. Ever notice that anybody who was considered a Mouseketeer always had to go by the that purity, factor? Even the Jonas Brothers, who were under the Disney contract.
Yeah, they did make a South Park episode about that. I don't know, you bitches.
Yeah.
Well, I would
That's
throw up
it.
another group, but
Mm.
probably wouldn't know them. Statler Brothers.
Okay.
They had the same style. Well, not same style, but they were accompanied by music.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a barbershop quartet group that I've become somewhat fond of as of recent.
Oh, fond of.
But it's still kind of niche, and I've only ever heard them perform for their competitions. I haven't seen them really do anything as a group outside of it. So, but I enjoy it.
Well, the only reason why I asked that particular question is because we're getting closer to the end of a musical evolution. Because right now we've already got through the emo style music to a point where it's got more of a techno or at least house electronica. That'd be the better word, electronica style. To go into something that is more or less back down to its roots, such as bluegrass, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, just a matter of time before they bring back something old, make it new again.
Everything seems to go through this. Everything seems
30
to
years.
go through a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 years. Roughly 30 years.
So, which I actually had an idea the other day. What if we're about to enter into some kind of digital renaissance? And I was thinking more specifically a digital tech renaissance. You have the old guard, and then all of a sudden now you have people coming up with new and improved ways of communication, as well as holding to values of the people who want to use it, the user base. So the old guard, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, are about to fall.
You mean
Or-
MySpace? Because Facebook, Twitter is considered the new guard.
Well, they're now the old guard. They've become the old guard.
I don't know. I would have to say that they're the standard.
They won't be for much longer.
Says who?
It just like with music, just like with art, just like with movies, anything is going to rotate out.
As long as it doesn't have financial accountability. At the moment it loses its money, then it rolls out. That's the difference when it comes down to the evolutionary charts with products, money. If it has no retainability, then it loses.
Right, but even
its
if
place.
you have some, even if we're going to go on this conspiracy theory of George Soros is funding places like Twitter and Facebook,
I doubt that, but okay.
it only is as viable. I'm just saying.
Again, I
conspiracy
doubt
theory,
that, but I also said okay.
Just pretend for a second.
I did say okay.
Thank you.
Like 3 times.
Yes.
The user base the user base itself will change. So now he's just throwing away money to people who are using it, but not funding for the new platforms where new users would prefer to go instead.
Such as?
Well, I don't have a clear answer for that.
Okay,
Because
so
there is no new centralized place for people to go, but that's okay because
I doubt that, because again, there is new places, or at least a place that other people will go. For example, Instagram, which is one of the newer market shares that are on the actual information technology. It's got a good popular base. The only people who are using Facebook for the most part are an older generation and those within business, like LinkedIn. You also have a combination of the new thing called Gab, which is very questionable and dubious at best, versus Twitter or even Tumblr. Tumblr being passed on like, an old whore on a Wednesday night. They are always going to be there. Yeah, there's always going to be something brand new for the next generation to play with, but it's not always going to grab a huge popularity unless everybody crosses over to that new thing.
eventually it'll happen. And again, it might not be Gab, but it will be something else.
The only reason why you want this to happen is because of the fact that you believe that it's stifling your freedom of speech.
It's not what I believe it's doing to me, Rogue. It's just what the natural marketplace will evolve into.
Well, I've been waiting for the natural marketplace to actually work proficiently or properly ever since the technical evolution came about. It's never worked properly the moment tech got involved. Tech is actually sped up the evolutionary process, or it's found a way to slow down certain aspects. Facebook should have been a dying entity, I would want to say about 20 years ago. But for whatever reason, it's survived. Now, we can say it's the boomers for the most part. We can also say it's the factor that it decided to become a market share. So it's got stocks in that, people behind it, the traded company. So if it's a traded company, the chances of it going away, it's very, very, very limited. It has to lose a lot of money in order for it to, go away, back, to just simply go away. So when you are looking at something that's considered new media, such as I'm going to put into Gab as being a new member of media, it has no market share. It can be susceptible to dying off.
That's
Like
why I
Tumblr.
wasn't trying. That's why I wasn't trying to prop up any site in particular.
No.
We don't know what the new form of the multi social media is going to be. It might not be Gab, but we know that YouTube is not going to last forever. We know that Facebook is not going to last forever.
See, that's the problem. We all know that not everything is going to last forever. The problem is like I said, the money. If the money is there, it's going to stay. If the money is not there,
here's the thing. Again, it comes back to the money might be there, but if there is no user base, then you're just flushing that money down the toilet.
Hence YouTube.
And people are moving away from YouTube, especially since YouTube is now taking this new stance of, well, we're going to not allow you to have a channel if you're no longer commercially viable.
Well, again, that's their direction. They want to have...
That's fine if that's what they want to take as a direction. Yeah. What people are upset about is that they weren't honest about their intentions to begin with, because they want to hold on to the user base as long as they can before they piss on you.
Again, you're looking at an evolution of attack. It doesn't always start off as doing harm. It eventually ends up that way.
Yeah, Facebook was that way to start off with.
See, Twitter was that way. Hell, MySpace was that way. So, the moment money comes into play, it's the moment they evolve, just like any other Pokemon.
Don't use Pokemon references on me, sir.
I can, because we can go directly to Ash Ketchum, who fucked up his Charmeleon. Alright. He evolved that character, that creature too quickly, or allowed it to evolve too quickly to a point where it turned on him.
Yeah.
He wouldn't listen. He was doing its own thing. He had to go away in order to come back. And after that, he was a proper Pokemon. It's more or less Ash's fault because he wasn't up to snuff to, keep that Pokemon in check.
Well,
the same thing with us.
Yes,
We're not up to snuff to keep these particular things in check.
Yes, okay, no. Yes. I was gonna say there's a point in Orange Island Saga where Charizard actually started listening to Ash.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
And that's when Ash started putting his foot down, basically saying, "Look, you either participate."
No, that's not what happened.
No. It comes back down to the respect. Remember,
putting your foot down. Yeah, putting your foot down doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a show of force. Mm-hmm. You could be appealing to, in this case, the Pokemon's better nature. It's like, look, if you don't help us, we're all fucked.
Actually, what ended up happening that is Ash finally gained Charizard's respect.
Yeah, that's where I was going towards.
More or less, yeah.
Now, in the tech business, can we get technology to gain? Can we gain the respect of technology?
Only if we basically sit there and say, "Look, if you're gonna fuck us over, we'll fuck you over back."
Technology, computers. That's all it is.
Oh right,
computers.
Computers.
Yeah. Can we gain the respect of a computer? No. We would have to gain the respect of the people behind the computer, controlling it. And the ultimate question, the final question is, what do they respect?
Well, there's some that respect money, and there's some that actually respect liberty.
Liberty is easily bought.
Well, I didn't say it lasted for long. I just said there were some that did.
I'm just saying, just the reality is Liberty is easily bought. Yeah. So, 76 is having its own issue for Fallout 76. Social media has always been a drama-filled basket.
Here's the thing. Let's use that 76 as an example.
Uh-huh.
People are not happy that they were promised a product and they didn't deliver.
Correct.
So they have the liberty to spend their money elsewhere. And that makes the game company, that makes Bethesda angry because they want that money. It's like, well, make a better product and maybe we'll give you our money.
Well, I haven't seen that anger as of yet because
The
people
anger is...
People are still playing the damn game.
There's
people are
some, not as much as they would have had, because people are pissed off at it.
Well, they're going to buy the next Bethesda game, so I don't know how pissed off they are if they're going to turn around and buy the next Bethesda game.
It's the same thing, bro. That happened basically with Battlefield and with the Call of Duty.
The Battlefield and Call of Duty, which is still highly marketable today. Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because people bought the next COD
But they didn't buy that one.
Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The game was already done and put out. They don't care what happens to it. All they care about is how much money they get from the overall name recognition of that brand.
What they look at is, did it sell? Did they make some sort or some form of money off of it? Did they? Move on to the next project.
Correct.
Try to milk that one for as much as possible. When they can't milk it no more, then move on to the next thing.
Henceforth, why you have microtransactions in games now, Pen. But here's the one thing I know for sure. The next Call of Duty, the next Battlefield, the next Bethesda-based game that pops out, guess what's going to happen? People are going to flock to spend $80, up to $80 or more in some cases, to get this brand new fucking game because, oh my god, it's Elder Scroll, the next one, without realizing that it could have the same issues as it did with 76, because
and
76...
if they don't, people won't buy it.
But 70, as it was going on, 76 had the same fucking issues as Fallout 4.
Well, so again, what's the saying? What's the saying? Bite me once, shame on you. Bite me twice, shame on me.
I wish that was a thing, because apparently we have a lot of retards that are buying this fucking game. This
and you
fucking
can't
game,
help
this,
that. But
this
you can't
fucking
help
engine over and over and over again. Yeah, but again, Pen, that great phrase is only reliable if people actually use their brains. But unfortunately, everybody's jumped down this Bethesda rabbit hole and kind of go, well, it was just that one game. They can't possibly fuck up Elder Scroll.
So they can't help me.
And they did. They fucked up Elder Scroll. They made it a mobile game, which is a popular game, unfortunately. They make money. How did they make the money off of a mobile game that is just a swipe to the left and a swipe to the right? Oh, I know. Microtransaction. But that's the problem. The average consumer is stupid. And they're always going to buy the same things over and over and over again.
Fool me once.
It's fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me multiple times, wow, that's all on me. And that's where we're at. We're being fooled multiple times. Now, the people who buy into it, well, they're the first, consumers. There's the ones that are jumping directly to. But as Mascot says, the average consumer is stupid. This is why Sears is out of business. Well, Toys R Us. Toys R Us is a big thing of consumer market, and the huge factor on that one for Toys R Us especially, because Sears is a different kettle of fish. They did not change their tech evolution to go into online marketing. If they did that at an early stage, they would still be here. I have a few friends who worked for Sears and behind the scenes, and that was their biggest gripe. They didn't have an online market, and when they did put it on, it was too late. They were already being outcompeted by other spaces that did it first. Same thing that happened with Blockbusters. If they didn't jump quickly, they were going to die, and obviously, they got taken out by something called Redbox or Netflix. So yeah, the average consumer, when it came down to something like Toys R Us, it was based off of the market of toys in general. And if anybody helped kill that bad boy very quickly, it was the fact that they had signed exclusive rights, that they were the ones that got this particular product first. And there was one franchise in question that really hurt them. Really, really hurt them. That'd be the Star Wars franchise. That used to be their bread and butter. A good Star Wars toy came in, hey, let's sell out hotcakes. Everybody would show up, including your grandfather would show up trying to buy this shit. Whereas the current product, again, that's where we're getting down to it, the woke version of toys are not sellable. No one wants them. So that's where the terminology you can get into, get woke, go broke. But there's a caveat to the get woke, go broke. You don't always go broke. Sometimes you have, money, a success. You can repeat it over and over and over again until you go broke. But that takes time.
Yeah, but then that's just that's artificial. That's artificial. It's not the success of the product because the consumers are buying it. They're being propped up by somebody else, which is wrong, and we can point to it being wrong.
Yeah, you can have your moral stance on it, Penn, but on a business stance, it's correct.
No, on a business stance, you're just bleeding money you're bleeding money for the purpose of propping up something.
And if you have the money to bleed, then you're going to do it, period. That is the average state of the new market, Penn.
As long as they break,
it's not sustainable.
You could say it's not sustainable, but then I look at hang on. You can say it's not sustainable. Then I look at other products that are out there that are still going today, such as Facebook, which is a very sustainable product. How long? Questionable, because again, it's making multiple billions of dollars.
From who, though?
From their shareholders, Penn. Their shareholders. Same thing with Google. They have shareholders. These are people putting hard-earned dollars. These are billionaires. These are your quote-unquote George Soros type people putting money down. They don't care about the average normie consumer. This is something I try to point out to people. The average normie consumer is just that. A person who's going to shell out a couple of bucks. What they want is the whales, the hardcore, subscriber, the person who's going to be a shareholder, the ones that's going to put down billions of dollars. So you, the average consumer, they don't care if they lose one or two of you. Hell, if they lose 100 of you, they really don't care. Hell, let's say they lose the entire normie market. Again, they don't care. So as long as the shareholders are there, they're beholden to the shareholders. Until the shareholders get mad, nothing's going to change.
Well, the shareholders definitely got mad when Cambridge Analytica was found out.
And what changes did they make?
how they placated.
Okay, so that's where the lineage is. You have to get the shareholders upset. Then you see change. Until then, business as normal.
Yep. Sucks, but that's what happens.
So we can sit here in our little soapboxes in our little corner of the interweb. We can pitch a bitch, but nothing's going to change until somebody with a bit of money says, hey, yeah, no, we don't like this. And then all of a sudden, heads turn, and then wheels start moving.
Yeah. Just like when Rogue was talking about the games and stuff like that, as long as they break even on a game, anything else, okay then. All thing they're looking forward to is if they can get their money back that they put into the game, then they can move on to the next one. And if it makes more than that, then that's profit.
Yeah.
It's a bad business stance if you're trying to be profitable, but if you're just trying to move products to get it out there to move on to the next thing, as long as you break even, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah. A lot of the time, most of these companies just want to break even and move on to the next product because they don't really care about a market, the average, fan base. So, oh, look, we've created a fan base. Okay, we'll give them whatever scraps over there, but we'll focus on the normies that, are going to give us the most amount at that time frame within the first 5 minutes. Just what marketing is, unfortunately. Same thing with our movies.
Yeah, Mascot, it is a dangerous tactic to move products without profit, but it happens all the time.
Yeah,
it happens in the trucking market all the time.
Hell, it happens in the movie market all the time. It's what we do. It's how we've survived for so long in the movie market. It's a profitable, it's a minorly profitable, not very sustainable market. Henceforth, why you have the reintroduction of the same fucking movie over and over again, just told in a slightly different way. Ever notice that? The current movies that you have is just the same bloody movies you've probably seen 20 years ago, 30 years ago, probably 40 years ago. Why?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that people in Hollywood are not creative enough? Are you telling me they're not original? Are you telling me that they can't be able to produce a really good franchise? The answer is they don't want to. They need something that is sure, easy, and not going to break the bank. Anything that is outside of that norm and make money, guess what's going to happen? They're gonna zombie effect that bad boy, and they're just going to repeat the same fucking formula over and over and over again until it's viable, until they find something else that's going to be, money making. Like the Joker. The Joker is a one-off type, scenario that's almost, let's be soft and just say it made $1 billion. Okay. Now, you're going to see people within the same production market kind of going, we need something like the Joker, where we're going to put down a little bit of budget and we're going to make sure that the idiots come in and we're going to get billions of dollars. That's it. And then they're going to pretty much recycle it until something else changes. That's how we got the whole Star Wars scenario, where they put a lot of money down, a lot of special effects, a couple of no-namers, and boom, Star Wars.
Yeah, basically
we
throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
Seeing what sticks. And that's what a lot of these places do. And Mascot says it's if you only break even, one slight increase in costs, and now every production movie costs you. Well, it depends. Do they mark stuff up? Like I know in the trucking industry, when we sell parts or they sell trucks, when you sell the truck for the value or parts for the value that they're trying to sell it at, they call that breaking even. But they're also getting profit from it. It might be them breaking even, but there's markups on everything on that truck. Same problem with movie production. No, like reusing set pieces, reusing props, anything like that. That's a way of cutting production and just tacking down onto, we did this, but it didn't cost them nothing to do that.
Correct.
So they might just be breaking even, but they still make a slight profit.
It's kind of people try to use the old perspective of the pencil as a marketing tool. The old pencil, the designment of it, cost you cents to the dollar to make. And pushing it out at 500%, you make a massive profit. Now, going forward in today's technology and that, people don't want to buy the pencil anymore. They're not interested in the pencil. So, but they are interested in this newfangled thing called a pen. Okay, but how much does it make to make a pen? Well, much more than it does to make a pencil. Oh, okay. So how do we market it so we can get the most out of it, but get the people to buy it?
Yeah. Hang on. I've got a scenario here. So,
All right.
they want you to think that Manscotch. They can say breaking even or selling at base cost or anything like that, and make you think, okay, well, they're not making that much money from it. It's bullshit. Let's say, for instance, I sell a clutch for a truck. That clutch is marked up. That clutch is for sale at $1,500. If I sell that clutch for $1,500, I break even. But that's what they want you to think. On technicality, that clutch is already marked up about 10% or so. So let's say it costs $900 to make that clutch. And the markup for it, once for the selling price, is about $1,500. The dealership cuts you a deal. Yeah, we can sell you this clutch for $1,300. Well, to them, they're not making a profit. They're actually losing money then. It's kind of a trick that people use to get people to think, hey, I'm getting this at a good deal. Might as well just buy it. Same thing will go for games and movies and stuff like that. They want you to think they're not making money off of it, but in the end of the game, they're always making some sort of profit on it. They're
not making as much money.
Yeah. You might think that.
Here's the thing. There's other things that go into the cost besides just the manufacturer assembling the thing and putting it together. There's delivery fee. There's the time that it takes for you to actually the energy involved in actually selling it. So that's labor. And then then shipping it out to the other person. All of these are costs.
Yeah, but Penn, I'm going to have to ask the question: Who ends up paying for those costs?
It should be the consumer. Yeah.
Yeah. So it isn't you, the person who's making the product. It is the consumer that's going to be budgeting overall. So not only has the consumer, as we're going to continue on your tangent there, Penn, has put in for a cost to buy said product, but now there's another market that's taking in a certain cost for labor of a person to sell that product, which is going to either complementary that with a product for installation, or there's another market for it for installation. So you, as a consumer, are paying more and more money for a product that should have only cost you maybe $900 or less.
Okay, so I'm not going to give away too many details, but for what I do for my work, let's say something as a simple banner sign. It's not just the cost of the banner or the ink to print or the person who designs it. It's also the person who has to trim it out, hem it, give it grommets, and then sell it to you. And then on top of that, you have to figure you can sit there and say, okay, well, maybe 10% on top of that. No, any good business will sit there and charge you double of what all of that accumulative is worth, because you have to also figure the cost of the additional storage of the remaining material and ink as it sits there waiting to be printed for something else. Otherwise, it does eventually go bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also taking into consideration cost of waste, which ideally you don't want to have to worry about, but it does happen. So you do have to account for it. If you're not at least upcharging double of what it costs you to make something, you're not making a real profit. You're barely scraping by. God forbid anything happens, such as, your telephone lines go out, which is also something that you have to added to the charge. Your telephone lines go out. You lose power. There's a storm and the rain damage has damaged your entire supply. You have to be able to replenish, or you have to make up for lost revenue because you're out of business for a day or two.
Yeah. Well, it's like with my shop. My shop, whenever we charge a customer, it'll be two different departments that's actually charging the customer. One would be the parts department. Second would be the service department. So, say, okay, the parts department sells a clutch to a customer, and then the customer comes to us and we install the clutch. And let's say the customer is very unhappy about something. So, on average, it takes about 8 to 10 hours to change our clutch. So, let's just go ahead and say 10 hours. We charge a labor rate of $140 an hour. So, 140 times 10 is about 1,400. So, that's how much we usually typically charge for a clutch. Now, say, okay, the customer's very unhappy, so we do something to make the customer happy. So, we're going to go ahead and prorate that, and we're going to go ahead and do it at $100 an hour for 8 hours. So, it's went from $1,400 to install that clutch to about $800 now to install that clutch. Now, trick question. Did we make money or did we lose money?
You still made money.
How?
Yeah.
Just because you prorate it doesn't mean that it's... Alright, if you're prorating it, you should still make money. It's just not as much as you're charging. Anything that you do in business, you should never lose money.
Yeah. So
even if you give a discount.
Yeah, but this is the same thing with gaming industries and whatnot, or even the movie industry. They're never really losing money.
That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So here's the bottom line. As long as they're making more, as long as they're making enough to pay me my hourly wage, which is around $30 an hour. As long as they make enough in labor sales to pay me that and to go back in the shop, it's still considered profitable, even though we didn't get as much profit as we needed. And they're still making money off that clutch, even though they cut the price almost in half for that clutch, and we cut the labor price almost in half for that clutch. At the end of the day, we're going to tell you, we broke even.
Again, the idea of breaking even is you know what the actual cost of the clutch is on a wholesale price, because you're not buying a single clutch, you're buying multiple clutches.
Yes.
See, this is something that this is a lot of most would forget. Yeah, I understand that Terminator lost a lot of money simply because of the factor that it is a market that most people were not interested in, and realistically, it was a throwaway product. All it was to keep the franchise alive under the belt of another producer. That's all it was. Because they wanted to make sure that they were able to keep that franchise title holder before it goes over to Cameron. Keep in mind that all movies that are new franchises, or at least within a franchisable base, have a 35-year shelf life for any production. 35 years just for that title before it goes over to the original creator. That is why studios want to milk the as many times on that franchise as possible, because they only have 35 years to do it in to make the most that it can possibly make. It is only bought at it once. It owns it for 35 years.
I see what Mascot is saying. While the product itself, or while the movie or whatever might lose money for that particular thing, and I see what you're saying, overall the company still makes money off of other things. I think what it comes down to is, unless the company consistently loses money on the products going forward because people just don't want to buy into it anymore, doesn't matter how much money the shareholders or whatever throw into it, if it's constantly losing money, then they either go bottom up or they change their ways.
No, they change the tactic. They don't change their ways. The ways is still bottom dollar, bottom line. It's the tactic that changes, how they get that bottom line. Now,
There's still a
sorry.
change.
Yes, there is a change. It's a tactical change. Again, their overall goal is still the same. We need money. This is how we get the money.
Yep. And when you get done, I'm gonna answer another one of Masquatch's answers because.
Well, I was going to go into the overall marketability of a franchise and the reason why it becomes stale because of the overproduction of it. So
Right.
you're a producer. You get a hold of this new hot kid that has this thing called let's say Friday the 13th. All right. You bought into this for a low dollar of let's say 100 million. 100 million. But now that's your franchise for 35 years. How many Halloween how many Friday the 13th movies were? Well, there was over 12 of them. Okay, so each one of them made a certain amount of money. Now, what was the original cost to own that franchise? Oh, 100,000. Okay, cool. So anything over top of that, if you already made your money on that first movie, you've got a profit. So anything outside of that, well, it's just extra money, extra gravy. Same thing that happened with Terminator. It was a twofer. It died on Cameron's door on Terminator 2. Somebody came around, well, you know what? We can make a Terminator movie. We're gonna buy the franchise right from you. Cameron said, "Sure, go ahead. I don't need it. I don't have any use for it anymore. If you think you can make money off of it, by all means, go for it. There's still money on the table, possibly." Cameron's gone. He's already made his money. He doesn't care what happens to his franchise because his franchise is a two-parter. Like Lucas, his franchise is 6 parts. So, after Terminator 2, you get Terminator 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 102. If they all shit the bed, who's losing money? Cameron, the man who created the idea? Or the people that have been tossing this franchise over and over and over again, like, it's a horror on a Saturday. You can only use a certain franchise for so long before the audience kind of goes, "I'm not interested." Now, 35 years later, here we are. That franchise now goes back to Cameron. What is Cameron going to do with this current Terminator franchise? He's going to sit on it. Why? He doesn't care about the story anymore. He's done. He was done during Terminator 2. It's a done story. This is pretty much all you've been witnessing after Terminator 2 is somebody pulling out a horse. The horse dies in front of you. And now you're watching the person just beat on this fucking dead horse over and over and over again for what, 6 stories? You've been watching it. Congratulations. But you paid money for it. You're the one that should be, considered the fool. I've never really seen the rest of the Terminator franchise past Terminator 2 because I really don't care. The story was done in Terminator 2. Anything after the fact, really don't care. I will watch a movie on the basis of critiquing in that. But as for, I have to go out and watch this movie because it's going to be the greatest tournament. No, it wasn't. Well, luckily for me, I work behind the scenes or at least for the studios at one time. So I get this shit for free. Doesn't cost me shit. Just a couple of my hours to waste in front of a computer screen to watch this movie.
Yeah. And one other note too about the whole thing is, yeah, you might have a lot of people out there say they're not gonna waste money on this movie, they're not gonna go watch it, but at the end of the day, there's still gonna be people that's gonna go spend money on a movie or spend money on a game. So you might have a whole collective that says we're not gonna spend money on this because we want change, but it's still gotta be the opposite side. Still gotta spend money on it. So until you can get everyone on the same foot and stand up for the same thing, you're gonna have the same repeating effect over and over and over again. I mean, it's gonna hurt them, it's gonna affect them, but not enough to really to go, well, we probably need to change something.
Alright. looking at the total growth of Dark Faith at the moment, it is 200 million. Oh wait, how much was the budget? 185. Okay, so it's made its production cost, but it's going to most likely eat its advertisement cost. The question you have to ask yourself: how the fuck did it make 200 million? International market made that money. Domestically, it shat itself. But in the international market, it succeeded.
At the end, they made the money back.
They made their production cost back.
Yeah.
Now they're working on the advertisement cost. Whatever is close to the end goal of whatever it costs them for the advertisement rights, great. That includes the after sales. Right now, the production cost, done. We're good. We can produce another one if we wanted to. Probably at a different, level of cost, because they're not going to put down almost $200 million on this thing. They were hoping to put down the Star Wars money in order to get the Star Wars effect, because Terminator is a brand recognizable name. They didn't get it. Why? It wasn't because of this. Was it because of the story? I doubt it. What was it because of the fact it was a fatigue? I doubt that too. Could be the factor that they over budget. If they didn't over budget it, like they always do, then they'll be fine. I'm looking at the current cost. They're up to 150 million. 130 would have been on this Friday or Thursday. They've already added in the Friday growth, and they're going to be adding in Saturday's growth later today. Mm-hmm. They have it already, and then whatever happens on Sunday.
Yeah, and a lot of the times the film it's just a waiting game too. So they might have to wait a little bit longer to get everything back, but over a period of time they're going to. That's the thing. It's going to constantly make them money.
I have to ask the question: how did Michael Bay have multiple Transformers movies, even though not all of them were successful domestically? I mean, somewhere along the line, there was a market that loved Michael Bay's, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to a point where he's making more. The Transformers were, again, he's making more of them. Somewhere along the line, that market was acceptable for to make a degree of profit for him to reproduce the same version of Transformers over and over and over again, even though the domestic fans were upset with the look of the Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of fun when you look at it. I'm sorry, domestically, movies overall is not just looking at the market anymore. The domestic market is just one portion of the equation. And yeah, you may not like the product, but overall, somebody else does. Well, that was fun. That was marketing. That was simple.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have the way they see things and the way things.
Yeah, no, I get it, but when it comes back down to it, they forget the ultimate bottom line, which is always going to be that money.
Yeah,
any financial individual is always going to look at that from several different perspectives, and the last perspective, or the major perspective that they're going to equate to, is always going to be the money. How much money did you earn?
Yeah, and it's like I keep bringing up the shop and my walk because that's the easiest thing I can equate it to. We might have a trucking shop that royally screws us over, and we do lose money on it.
Yeah.
The thing is we can still always make that money back, and it's really easy to do.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with the movie industry. We will spend lots and lots of money on making shit movies. Why would a studio want to make lots of shit movies? Because it makes a degree of money. It brings certain titles to light. Now, it's profitable over time, Sometimes you luck out and you get profit right away, and it becomes a major profit over time.
Yeah. But it's also like this. Say we have a truck in our shop and we royally get screwed over on it. The customer's unhappy, and we ended up like giving away labor, and we ended up giving away parts to fix this truck and get on the road. Well, at the end goal of it, if we can make the driver happy enough, or the customer happy enough, and we prove to them that we're gonna bend over backwards to try to help them out, most likely we're going to see that customer again, and they're going to come back for a major job that hopefully next time won't screw us over, and then we can probably make that money back from that customer doing so.
Yeah.
The thing is we either get the customer back or we'll make the money back somewhere else. I mean,
see, this is why you charge the way you do with the vast majority of their products, because of the one instance where you do lose money, you have the revenue to make up for it.
Correct.
Yes. And every market, some way, somehow, has that sort of catch net. Whether they make it known to the public or not, and that's the.
Oh, they never make it known to the public. That's the beautiful thing. They'll never make it known to the public how many different pieces that they have being sold to the public. For example, we'll take video games as the potato chips of the this tangent.
Hey, pal.
One producer will have 6 different games being sent out all at the same time, but not all 6 different games are going to be popular. Correct?
Correct.
But they're all going to be making some degree of money. Now, some are going to make more money than others. Now, the ones that make the most money will be backing up the other 5 games that are making the least amount of money. But overall, how many games were sent up by that one publisher? 6. So are they losing money, or are they making a lot more money off of those 6 games individually?
Well, they'll be making some sort of degree of money back. It just depends on how much they spend and how much they're getting back.
Correct. This is the same kind of mass production that the movie industry has. They have multiple different movies being sent or being produced under one producer, one publication. Yeah. So you have 12 different movies, all done by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They push all these movies out within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
All these movies make money.
Yeah.
All they had to spend was a couple of, maybe $1 billion, if that. Maybe half $1 billion to produce these 12 movies, and whoever brings in the most money, well, they've got money to put out to make more movies. Whatever on top of it, it's just gravy. It's just access money.
Yeah.
How we've been keeping alive for as long as we have, depending on what industry you belong to.
Yeah, but a lot of times
it looks like we've ran afoul because somebody's here.
Yeah.
Hello, Foul.
And Foul, yeah. Foul. He's in the chat. But it's like when they give you that number on how much was spent, you really think it costs exactly $150 million or $150 billion to make that movie? That's a rounded up number. And that's a rounded up number for all their assets. So say it's like, costs this much for this much for this much for this. They take that number and then they round it all up. And then they combine that number and take that number and round it up to the next thing. So they may say they break even, or they may say they didn't make profit, but in a way they made some sort of profit. They made some sort of money off of it. They just don't let you know.
Well, you're not going to get the full,
the
dollar figure because again, back in the movies, you have your production costs, but they don't equate the advertisement cost. They don't equate the actual production of merchandise costs. So your merchandise cost, your advertisement cost is out of that equation of the production cost. So they'll give you the estimation, a round up number of how much this movie could have cost them. That's what they budgeted themselves for. Was it the complete budget? Unknown. But you've got the average estimate budget cost. We will have to take in consideration that you double that average estimate cost up to that amount of money was put into advertisement.
Yeah.
Could have been less, could have been more, depending on how many markets that they're booking in and how many deals that they've made. So that changes that price.
Yeah.
And merchandise, that's another equation that people seem to forget. That's a profitability there. Those toys and shirts and cups and glasses and whatever else you can possibly get, that goes into the production cost. All that is his profit.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, let's bring up Fallout 76 again.
Yeah.
They added in microtransactions. Now that's not a hard move for them to do. It just takes one or two programmers to program a couple different things in for people to buy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. How much you want to bet that those microtransactions has already paid for the game somewhat? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The game in the whole most likely failed and bombed, and it did. But they put in microtransactions, and the people that bought the game, that like the game, that play the game, buy those microtransactions, and you get a vast majority of them that do that.
Actually, my personal favorite is, remember this entire bullshit of the, Fallout First?
Yep.
It was profitable. Guess what? There was a lot of people who put down the $100.
Yeah.
Hell, there was enough people to put down the $14 that are making a bitch about why it's scandalous now, because these people put money down. Some actually put it down, hundreds of dollars down, in order for them to have this additional add-on. So it works. That's the problem. We have stupid people buying stuff, and as long as stupid people buy stuff, nothing changes.
Yeah. And how much time, how much money do you think it took them just to initiate this? Almost nothing at all. All thing they had to do is put in some programming, put in some features, and enable it. That was buggy as all hell. People bought into it and paid for the game.
Yeah, we've already known that somebody's already scrubbed the back quarters of the coding in that, and already found that microtransaction was there.
Playing for it.
The storefront was already in the actual game. So yeah, that plan was ready to go. All they had to do was kind of go, okay, see that N? Now we turn it to a Y, and then boom, we're in business. One brief letter change. And
we have a Taz in chat.
Yeah. And now everything about that game that you thought was going to be free and being given to you free, well, now we've made those changes. Sorry, you've already bought the game, and now you've accepted anything beyond that point, because now you've already agreed by keep playing this game. So if we change the parameters as it's our game, we can do that.
Yeah. The term that comes to mind for me is snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
you got to have a lot of people know. Yeah, don't buy anything from this guy. Don't buy anything from that. It's snake oil. You don't want it. It's bad for you. But the problem is, he's going to have those customers that don't know any better, that don't do any research, or just like, oh, well, this seems good. The vast majority of it might look, yeah, no, this is bad. Don't buy from him. He's still gonna make money.
Yeah. Actually, the funnier thing is, out of all the countries in the world to actually go, no, we demand a refund, that'd be Australia. The country that has everything trying to kill it, making it, it's inhabitable for the most part, but people live there somehow. Every animal, including the cute ones, want to kill them, yet they survive. And out of all things that could possibly kill you 20 times over, actually the entire global world 20 times over, they drew the line at Fallout 76. Think about that. Australia drew the line, kind of go, no, Fallout 76, you're going to have to give us some money back on that one. Now, how much money did Bethesda lose on a market for Australia?
Probably not not a lot.
They've already marked up the cost for the Fallout 76 for Australia as it is. In order for you to move from the United States to Australia, we're going to mark up this game by 300%. Okay.
Damn.
And if you have one or two people that demand a refund, well, percent. Here's the pittance. Australia's a small market share. Yeah, and they're going to bleed you dry in the Australian quarters because, again, they can. They're independent. They're isolated. They have things trying to kill them. So, the rest of the global market, did they get a refund off of this game? I haven't heard anything yet. Hell, all I've heard is a few handful of people putting up YouTube and articles bitching about what it is and what they've been doing, and yet I haven't heard through those articles or those YouTube channels going, well, the United States has demanded that there be a refund, or China has demanded that there be a refund, or 15 different countries demanded that there be a refund for the broken fucking game. So, yeah, they made their money. How they make their money off of the ESO. Or Elder Scrolls. Yeah, ESO. Elder Scrolls Online. That's a broken game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the money. Yeah, they've made some minor changes to it to make it playable. But how did they get there? Oh, the microtransactions to the highest level that are available to you that people buy.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I typically try not to get on the bandwagon or try not to throw too much of a fucking fit about talking about, oh my god, this game, don't buy it, because it doesn't matter how loud you yell about it, you're still gonna have people that's gonna buy it. It's still gonna have it's not gonna change in a detrimental way. Now, most people say, well, the more people band together, the more people speak up about it, the more things will likely change. And if you think
I like that word, likely. I like that word, likely. It's a good word, likely.
Yeah. Which, if you think about it, if you do want to think about like a domino effect, one person affects another person, that person affects another person. Yeah, eventually it'll get there. But you also got the other people that are just diehard fans that don't care what other people say. They want to buy this game because it's Fallout, or it's Star Wars, or it's Terminator. You got those fans. Like you hear a lot of people that like Star Wars and say, "Oh my god, they killed the franchise." Yeah, they killed the franchise. The franchise is dead. It's not going well. If you went to any of the new conventions and you looked around, they're fucking packed. Yeah. So it depends on who's saying what and how far it's going. Because for the most part, there's a lot of people that like the new movies. A lot of people.
Henceforth, why they're surprised. Like it or not, Star Wars, the new franchise for Disney, cost them so much to produce. So they're looking at a different way of making their $4 billion. Right now, they've got $3 billion to cover. They've already managed to get past that first hump of that first billion. Now they got 3 more to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
They were hoping that a smaller production cost with a better advertisement revenue would actually bring in a lot more money. Doesn't necessarily have to be great stories. It just has to have people, henceforth why we got this Disney Plus sequence where, Marvel, Disney's Marvel, Star Wars, and whatever else that they have under their franchise belt will be airing on Disney Plus to bring in a certain fan base. Once you get to a major crucial point, it might cross over to a movie to continue the story after the movie has been completed. This is the new Disney Plus venture of Disney movies and TV. Why do you think that if you look at the Marvel lineage or the lineup that they have for next year, there's at least 4 crossover TV shows with 4 crossover movies? Well, they want to bring in a certain watcher base to the theater. That's how they're going to work it. Something I mentioned that it might be a good plan if you do it right. I mean, Game of Thrones was supposed to go that route, but HBO didn't like the idea of having, a movie out of their clutches. They weren't going to make the most out of that market share. Hell, they were still throwing money at hacks to make the Game of Thrones, and they were still going to throw money at the hacks to make the continue with Game of Thrones up to season 13, season 14. But the hacks decided, no, we believe our hype, and we're going to go to Disney. We're going to make some Star Wars money, and we'll be good. We'll be set. We'll be secured. We will no longer be considered hacks. Well, unfortunately, they're hacks. They fucked up season 8 so badly. Again, this is all on them. You can't say it was the Double G, because he was like, you guys are doing it wrong. He's like, oh, fuck you, George. We're going to do our own thing because we know what we're doing. While you're focusing on the wrong characters, go over there, play with your crayons. We got this. So they produced 4, 5, 6. Well, they produced the rest of the lineage from season 4 on. 8 was their all them, 100% all them. There was no changes. Not only did they decide to shorten the entire season to 6 episodes, they fast tracked a lot of the story arcs that they had. And they killed a lot of the story arcs that they had just because they wanted out so they can go get Disney money. Now,
Yeah. Well,
the other question, it's going to continue, sorry. The last question would be, did that kill the franchise for HBO? That's the question. Well, HBO is making another Game of Thrones. But they have to make sure that George is online in order for this to be successful. So there we go. This is where we're at, folks. We've got shitty movie writers, producers, and so on and so forth making bank on the basis of somebody else's hard work.
Yeah. Winter's coming, right?
Yeah, winter is coming.
Yeah. With that, I actually think this has been a real interesting, unique discussion. Rogue.
Holy goddamn shit, my microphone has been muted this whole time.
Oh, God. Pan's probably been going, no! It's not like that! No! We have been going for about 2 hours now, so it's now time to kind of wind this down and start to close.
Well, you know what time it is.
People.
Rogue, it's always interesting and fun to have you come by. And
I hope so. I try to bring in the most pessimistic, realistic sense of...
Yeah. Well, this episode kind of turned into almost kind of like a midway debate, and it was interesting for the most part.
I'm still going to disagree with Rogue on some points, but it was interesting to hear his perspective.
Well, I like to understand exactly what points were you objecting to, so I can beat them over the head with it, go for you. I want to know.
I've already stated. I disagree with you with the. I see your points, and yes, but I think ultimately, if enough people voice with their wallets, even though they don't like one product, it's like, just change what you're doing. We'll be glad to give you money for the next thing if you fix these issues. If you keep doing this stuff, we're not going to take away our money. And then if the company is no longer earning money from customers, then the shareholders go, well, what the fuck are you doing? And then start taking their money away. At some point, the resource of money will run out. It might not be as fast as we like it,
I like I said, I'm going to beat you on this one. I'm going to be very honest and kind of go, yeah, that possibility, that little train that you're thinking on, may never really happen.
May or may not. We'll find out.
Yeah, and right now, so far, the person who keeps winning, who keeps winning that pony, happens to be the guy in his awesome chair, poison vibe. Because you guys pick a certain pony, go, oh well, we're gonna put down our foot down, and we're gonna have changes, and all somebody has to do is go, we heard you. Here's the change that we're making. Absolutely nothing. But what we've done to make you feel like we've made some changes is we added more microtransactions.
Yeah.
So, anyways, as we were going up,
we are, yeah. We can pick this up on another episode or whenever, patch.
I don't know if I want to pick this up because I think this horse is killed. Yeah, it's being manufactured into meat and being sent out to the populace that love eating horse meat.
Yeah, and a lot of glue, right?
Well, yeah. What's ever left, we can make it into glue or into bows.
All right, but with that, let's go ahead and chill out some stuff. So what do you guys have this week?
I have a day off. That's for me. As for me for this week, it's just a little old rogue playing with games with these two people that I'm talking to now. For tomorrow, that is a Monday. Let's see here. Then we've got TRPC for Tuesday. That way, we have a guest for Tuesday. I know, surprise, surprise. We'll be covering conspiracy theories, and I have a few that are classics that I brought out and dusted it off. And I'm going to see if both the guest and Nemo can use their noodles on their this theories and that. So.
Trust me, I know who this guest is. I think
maybe you might. You just might. But if you want to know more, and I bet you do, head over to gnfnetwork.com where you can see all of our schedules, or better yet, head over to our YouTube channel. That is /Gator and Frog, all one word.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Pete?
What about me? Well, I still have my assignments that I'm working on. Considering the direction that YouTube is going in, I don't know if I'll continue to have a YouTube channel or a Google account for that matter as of December 10th. So I'm going to start looking into moving things around. I'm probably going to just purge the videos on my YouTube channel and archive what I can over onto my BitChute. Use Twitch for live streaming from now on until another platform comes around, or until BitChute gets live streaming, which is a possibility in the next year.
Do you want to get those Chinese lemons?
That's D-Live. I don't know if I want to do D-Live.
So you don't want Chinese lemons?
It's a possibility. I don't know if it's something that I want to focus on. I want to be in the least. I want to be in the least to go belly up platform.
Okay.
I want a more stable.
That's a pick.
Then you might want to get the Chinese lemons.
Anyways, Minds and Gab build my websites. 3 websites. Yay, building websites.
I know.
And then I want to reorganize my Discord, which will probably be the easier of those. But yeah, there's a lot of things for me to think about and take care of in the next literal month from today. And yeah, I just want to be a productive member of society, or the internet society, and make things. I want to make my games. I want to make art. I want to do stuff.
She wants to make art, people. Oh, speaking of art, apparently our side of Twitch has been temporarily suspended for 3 days. So I've got to wait until I think Monday or Tuesday to find out exactly what took us down. That's going to be interesting. I think I already know what took us down, but I want to know if that. I want to know if that
said specifically nudity, so I think I know what it was.
Yeah, so I think I know what it is. So it's like okay, but I want to make sure. I want to make sure. I don't want to throw certain movies under the bus, but I want to make sure. So that's gonna be fun.
We'll figure it out. I'm surprised that they didn't sit there and try to tag us for reusing content that's not ours. They just are more concerned about the boobs.
Yeah, apparently so. Hey, Sparky, have you ever been taken down? I mean, have you taken?
It's funny that Twitch wants to complain about the boobs, yet they do nothing about the cam girls.
Yeah, I know, but I asked Sparky a question. What? Sparky, have you been taken down yet?
No, I haven't.
So Sparky's got
get ready to mute
out.
Rogue, Sparky. Get ready to mute Rogue, because
no, don't.
That's why he's asking.
I know.
No,
I'm going to finish this out.
Yeah.
This week.
Hello there.
This week will be on. Before the live stream tomorrow for 7 Days to Die, Super Mario World. I believe it's World 4 will be out tomorrow around 3:30, 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and then same day around 7:30 or 7 o'clock Central Standard Time we'll be doing a freeway stream between me, Pin, and Rogue on 7 Days to Die. After that, I still don't know about McKenna Tuesdays this week. We still haven't recorded the episode yet, so we might be missing Star One for this one. I might see if I can get somebody else to kind of take its stead. Well, we're supposed to be doing Macross Do You Remember Love movie, so we'll see how.
I remember Macross, and unfortunately I remember Love, and all I can say is Love is over.
Yes.
Love, baby, don't hurt me.
But besides from that, that's about all that's happening this week on my channel. With that, queuing up the music. Wrong music. I had the fire detector beep. It's like no, fail again.
I can see Sparky has his hand hovered over the mic, ready to mute. As I shill in your channel, if you guys will please go and follow my Twitch.
Don't follow her Twitch. Please don't follow her Twitch. You have to follow her specifically. You have to go to her house and just follow her from there.
No. I am 30 followers away from being eligible to be affiliate on the Trick Designs account.
Nice.
And if you guys are able and willing to help out, I would greatly appreciate it, because that's the next step in my professional journey.
Nope. Pen, just for you.
You know Dasher and
No Christmas songs yet!
Comet.
No, Rogue.
It's not Christmas yet.
After
Turkey Day.
Yeah.
No. Just because I know it irritates you, I'm going to give you a Christmas tune.
God damn it.
Okay. Alright. Well, anyways, music is now rolling. Thank you for joining me, Pin and Road, today for this episode of Re-Caffeinated. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.